The serum that his father dropped years ago that he couldn't find no matter how hard he looked was right in front of him, causing Eren to enter a state of shock. Nobody, not even the pro heroes or students of Class 1A, understood what they were looking at. With the tension of the last battle still lingering in that area, nobody knew if the giant could be trusted or not. So All Might took it upon himself to interrogate the large being. What brings you here? Are you in cahoots with the League of Villains? The Titan didn't respond at all, which startled the heroes even more. The Titan didn't even acknowledge All Might's existence and simply stared right at Eren. Let me go. I have to stop that man, said Eren. All Might didn't listen though, and instead kept hold of Eren. The Titan stepped out of the trees quickly and made his way toward Eren. However, the number 2 hero Endeavor jumped in front of it and shot a large fireball. An explosion formed and a large cloud of smoke covered the Titan. With all smoke cleared, however, the Titan still stood in the same position, no visible damage at all. With no hesitation, he shot another blast toward the Titan, but the result was much of the same. The armor around this thing can't be phased. Let's assist him look for weaknesses, said Kamiya Woods. He, Gran Torino, and Ash Shot all darted into battle to combat the armored Titan, trying to find areas where it was vulnerable. All Might wanted to join as well, but holding Eren down was just as important as defeating the foe. Assistance from someone of great height would be useful as well, but Mount Lady was still recovering from her injuries from the battle that took place in the city. The 4 heroes all attacked the armored Titan at every point of his body. Attack after attack, the armored Titan shocked the heroes by dropping to a knee after an attack from Ash Shot to outjoin his knee. So it's not invincible. The small gaps of armor between its joints are vulnerable. Keep attacking there, said Endeavor. As the Titan was on the ground, the heroes were sure of their victory. Hope began to fill everyone in the area. Suddenly, the armor on the Titan's leg broke off. The heroes think their attack damaged it to the point where it shattered. However, the Titan bursted from where it crouched into an all-out sprint, moving much quicker than before. How? It couldn't move this fast at first. Did it intentionally break off its shell for more movement speed? Asked Endeavor. With a straight line to Eren, the Titan charged a kick toward All Might, who was forced to let go of Eren to catch his leg. The power was almost overwhelming as All Might kept his grip while his feet dragged through the dirt. He let go of his grip and shot up 15 meters to the top of the Titan's face and delivered a devastating punch. The shell of the Titan cracked as it tilted back a few feet but was barely able to stop himself. The armor was strong enough to stop the thing from flying back several meters, even from All Might's punch. Just what is this thing? Asked Uraraka, who stood next to Eren. The armored Titan, said Eren. All the eyes of the heroes in the area took their attention away from the battle going on and instead focused on Eren, whose words shocked them. The armored Titan? What do you mean? There's someone else with a quirk like yours? And how do you know him? Asked Uraraka. Eren didn't respond, and instead Uraraka looked into Eren's eyes and saw the heavy exhaustion he was dealing with. I just have to stop this guy. Then I finally have all but one of the serums, thought Eren. He walked backwards and scraped his arm against a tree since his hands were handcuffed together, transforming him for the 3rd time that day. Once he fully activated his Titan form, everything was a daze for him, losing the full control of the power he had of the Titan. When All Might saw the sight of Eren transforming, he was disappointed, but then decided to use this opportunity to cooperate Eren. Due to the injury he sustained against All For One, he could no longer strike with as much power as he could before. Eren, try to chip off his armor so that the heroes could damage the Titan even more, said All Might. Despite this message, Eren didn't move a muscle after hearing this request from All Might. He let out a frightening roar, challenging the armored Titan to come and attack him. It took his attention away from All Might and darted toward Eren. The attack Titan extended his arm for a punch to the approaching armored Titan. However, it missed its mark as the punch had no coordination or skill to it. The armored Titan took this chance and knocked Eren off his feet with the force of a powerful punch. He's even stronger than Eren, no way, said Uraraka. The heroes didn't let the surprising result stop them, as Endeavor, Edge Shot, and the others shot back into battle with the armored Titan. Due to the plan of Eren breaking the armor of the Titan failing, the heroes still couldn't accomplish anything in their attempt. With the tides of the battle seeming to lean nowhere else but to the Titan, All Might approached Endeavor with the plan to attack the Titan at the same time. Though a bit hesitant due to his thoughts about All Might the number 1 hero position, he agreed and they charged in for an attack. The Titan's attention drifted from Eren to the 2 heroes, knowing an attack from both of them could be damaging. For the first time, the top 2 heroes fought together as they delivered a tag team attack to the armored Titan. The sight of the top two heroes was mesmerizing as they both swung with everything they had. The impact caused a large blast that created a giant wave of smoke to stretch across the entire area. Both heroes stood back onto the ground as they anxiously waited to see the state of their enemy. However, they were shocked to see that their foe was no longer there. Not only this, but Eren was nowhere to be found, as only the remains of his titan lay into the dirt. Impossible! How'd he get away in that split second before our attack connected, and how'd he grab Eren? Asked Endeavor. Inside the forest, a man made his way through the dense trees while carrying Eren on his shoulders, who wasn't necessarily awake or passed out, rather in a state of losing consciousness second by second. Making an escape was not an easy task, as he had to perfectly time his detransformations as the attack went near him. In this small frame of time, he had to turn his way through Eren's nape quickly enough so anyone wouldn't notice. I've captured the kid, so now it's your turn to hold up to your side of the deal. The man spoke of the communication device, but no answer came back. Just a day ago, right before the League of Villains set out to find the escaping Eren, the man who had the power of the Armored Titan took part in a battle in which he absolutely obliterated his opponents. His experience with the new quirk was still quite fresh, but the overwhelming power of it outshadowed his ignorance. The scary sight of the large titan stomping his foes scared out every civilian in the city, even prepared to face oncoming heroes who may have arrived. However, who approached him wasn't a pro hero, but a high school girl and a man. They came with their hands raised, saying they didn't come for trouble. He felt no need to be startled by the two, so he returned to his human form and heard them out. Thus, the two explained who they were and were interested in the man, inviting him back to the hideout. They arrived, and the man was met by a dark room of villains. Toga, twice, who's this man you brought? Shigaraki raised his head as the two walked in with the man with them. He's a member of the Yakuza, the leader actually despite his young age, said Twice. Oh, and get this, his quirk is really just like that Erwin's kid's. When we saw him when he was like 15 meters tall, we had some type of armor on him, said Toga. It's Eren, not Erwin, said Twice. Hearing this caught the attention of Shigaraki, and he stood up and walked from where he sat. No, it can't be. You attained one of the Titan serums? Shigaraki asked Overhaul. Is that what it was? I simply gained this through another member of the Yakuza who told me a scientist dropped it in the forest. He told me he believed the man was capable of creating quirks, so I decided to take it, which equipped me with this quirk not too long ago. I just couldn't let anyone else get their hands on it, and it infected them with the sick ideas of heroism and villains, said Kaichisaki, the man equipped it with the Armor Titan quirk. So you're telling me you took the serum meant for my master for a petty reason like that? Foolish, said Shigaraki. Petty reason? I believe this was better suited for me than a group like yours, a group who failed to obtain these serums used in their currently flawed plans. So I have a proposal for you. Join me and together we can lead you to the future of our world, a world run by the Yakuza, said Kaichisaki. Agitated by the insults to his group, Shigaraki dashed towards Chisaki and prepared to dust him away. However, as he got closer, two of the men jumped in front of Chisaki, who were members of the Yakuza group which Overhaul ran. This triggered the entire League of Villains to jump onto their feet, and it seemed like a battle was going to commence. The fierce aura of the villains all halted at the same time, as the door to the room opened and walked in all for one. What are you doing here? I was about to handle this guy down talking us, said Shigaraki. Calm down, Tamura. This man isn't your enemy. Rather, he's about to become a great help to us, said all for one. And what assumptions is this on? Why would I want to work with the likes of you when I could turn this group around when they work under me, said Chisaki. So you just turn down the power to easily erase all the quirks at your own will? Asked all for one. This question caught Chisaki's attention, stunning him beyond belief. I would not be so urgently trying to attain these serums if they simply only gave me the power to increase my height with a few other abilities. The science to create them have much more knowledge than anyone else in this world on the power of quirks, despite being born quirkless himself. If he could so easily create several powers to give himself, no, anyone in the world of quirk, what makes you think that he didn't design anything to easily take these quirks away? Said all for one. That's impossible. The illness known as quirks are not something so easily taken. It took us years to design a way to take a similar quirk away, taking everyone's out of the question, said Chisaki. And such irregularities like this are all within the power of their serums. Grisha told me about a specific quirk he was designing before he left, named the Founder Titan. After test on humans across Japan, sacrificing their lives, he designed the ultimate quirk. While his true power is still unknown, I'm positive something as small as erasing quirks isn't a problem. Chisaki, no, I should call you by who you really are. Overhaul, the Armored Titan, the wielder of both the Overhaul and Armored Titan quirks. Work with us and we'll all get our end of the deal. Thus, they assembled a plan to capture Eren and what they believed to be the 7 serums the day after. Not wanting to overstay his welcome, Overhaul returned to his base for the short while before the day came, prompting Shigaraki to question All for One. How could you just let him erase all the quirks like that? We can't just let someone come in and steal the power that we've been chasing for quite some time, said Shigaraki. Yes, that's very foolish, isn't it? While it's true that I would need him to gain the serums, I was in awe of being truthful with the information I told him, said All for One. What do you mean, not truthful? Did you mean to lie to all of us back there? Asked Shigaraki. There's no way for anyone in this world to know the power of the Titans. The only man who would know about what their abilities were is dead. Before he departed from my science department, Grisha simply only told me the names of each ability. I trusted him too much to force him to tell me what they did. The only thing I was aware of was his creation, named the Founder Titan, which indeed caused him to sacrifice many civilians to the public. After he betrayed me, it took me years to find him, and when I did, I interrogated him roughly, even telling him I would kill his wife. But I was shocked to find out that he had given them to the heroes. Even to this day, I don't believe this at all. I knew it wasn't smart to kill him then and there, and went to search for any clues of where the serums were. However, when I returned to the town the day after, everything was destroyed, and he was nowhere to be found. I didn't send anyone to do this, so it can only be assumed that either it was just a coincidence or someone had the same goal as I. Somehow, the attack Titan quirk was passed to Eren, so it's my assumption that it occurred the same day as Grisha made his escape. This means that the serums must have still been in the town, as I can't think of any other way for him to transfer the quirk, as it's clear that Eren doesn't have them, said All for One. I don't see why he couldn't just keep trusting me to find them. Eren only slipped out of my fingers due to me not realizing he can transform without directly biting to his hands. After Overhaul finds the serums, I'll simply kill him and take them back here, giving him no chance to betray us, said Shigaraki. Overhaul finished thinking about this past encounter, excluding the last conversation, and continued through the forest as he called for his fellow Yakuza members. They were hidden in the forest for this exact moment, as Overhaul knew the heroes wouldn't let up. I left no traces of our current location, just watched my back for now, and all of a sudden, the trees in the area almost ripped out of the ground as a powerful force dashed toward them. It's All Might, said one of the members of Overhaul's group. Among all the heroes, All Might made it to Overhaul's location first with his bizarre speed. He left the other pro heroes behind and told them to nurse the students' injuries while he rescued Eren. Drop the kid, and this will end much quicker than it has to. I don't know what's going on or who you are, but Eren has nothing to do with it, said All Might. No, this kid has everything to do with it. I wouldn't be dragging his disgusting body on my shoulder if he meant nothing, said Overhaul. He commanded his men to attack All Might, but this only lasted for a few seconds, so All Might knocked them unconscious. Overhaul's eyes widened in shock, realizing that everything he heard about All Might was true. You have the greatest power I've seen. I'd be a fool not to acknowledge this, but still, I'm not giving up on the Titan, said Overhaul. He placed his hand against the tree, which caused the surface of the tree to be destroyed, but suddenly modified into a large spike that shot directly at All Might. He easily broke it with his hand, then asked Overhaul a question. Interesting. You can not only turn that large monster, but also use this quirk? Asked All Might. Overhaul ignored the question and continued shooting spikes at All Might, raged that his quirk wasn't injuring him one bit. All Might continued walking through the spikes while breaking each of him with his punches, showing his overwhelming dominance against Overhaul. Not realizing his surroundings, Overhaul backed right into a tree behind him and tripped into the ground, giving All Might enough time to catch up with him and stand over him. You don't seem like the type to run this organization and put this entire plan together. Who do you work for? Asked All Might. Overhaul let out a grunt, angry by the words that just came out of All Might's mouth. What is this? You feel as if you have some type of heroic duty to fulfill because of the quirk side of you? I don't work for anyone. People only work for me. said Overhaul. That's quite ironic, seeing that you have 2 quirks yourself. You shouldn't be saying this. But that's enough. I'll be taking the boy back and taking you to the police to see what they do with you, said All Might. You're foolish if you thought I came here without a plan B, said Overhaul. Suddenly, he pressed both hands into the ground, shaping the ground into hold his All Might feet like cuffs. All Might quickly broke these cuffs off his feet, wondering what Overhaul was going for with this attack. Suddenly, from behind, he heard a twig snap and saw a man stick his head out from behind a tree. Oh, is that what you were going for? A surprise attack? Asked All Might. He took off toward the man, preparing to hit him with a punch that would have knocked him out, when suddenly,